Get ready. Bitcoin has entered this blood zone right here on the chart and has absolutely stalled since. Take a look. This blood zone coincides with the prior all-time high of the wick and the bodies, and we've stayed inside of this blood zone trapped. What happens next is going to be shocking. What we're going to do is zoom out, and we're going to look at another time that we have entered the exact same blood zone in the exact same part of the cycle. We're looking at 2016. Again, if you look at the wick here, the bodies here, in this zone trapped us in for a whole bunch of days, just like we are in right now. And what happened next was an absolute parabolic explosion. In today's video, we're going to be uncovering the facts and whether or not we can have a similar type of move after entering the blood zone, just like we did in 2016. We're going to lay out the facts. We're going to identify the facts. We're going to look for clues. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to be explaining to you what I believe you should be doing right now based on these facts, based on this blood zone, and based on what we anticipate happening next. Get ready. Welcome. I'm Steve. Here we deliver honest, sponsorship-free TA with genuine value. Subscribe for a no BS approach that actually helps you. Subscribe. So here we are, Bitcoin US dollar index, and we are on the 2-week chart. Each candle represents 2 weeks of price action. And what we can see is Bitcoin is in the blood zone. We have been trapped in this blood zone now for 98 days, trapped inside of this blood zone. There are some key clues with all of these wicks here and these wicks down here as to what is about to happen. But once again, this blood zone is absolutely based on market structure and nothing else. What we took is the wick high in the bodies. It creates a high of right here, right above 70K, and this bodies of right at about 63. If you notice, every single candle we've had for 98 days has had the bodies close inside of this blood zone. By definition, you can see this exact market structure play out in 2016. Once again, we take the wick of November 2013, we take the bodies of December 2013, that is our blood zone, and every single candle through this entire period had the bodies close inside of there for a total of 70 days before breaking out with this candle, finally holding support and starting one of the most monumental parabolic rallies that Bitcoin has had its entire history. The key question is Bitcoin preparing to do more of the same and get out of this blood zone, finally hold it as support, and go absolutely parabolic to our top? Let's uncover this pound for pound, move for move. We're going to start with present day and what is happening, and we're going to compare it to what has happened before, right? What you can see happening in front of our eyes is this blood zone, by definition, is holding us in, trapping us just like clockwork, right? You can see candle after candle, body after body, closing inside of said blood zone. But some clues are right in front of us with the wicks, right? Now, let's go back. Let's look at this 2016. Let's study this closer. And then we're going to go to present day, and all of it's going to become very, very clear. And then what I'm going to do is explain what I believe you should be doing right now based on these facts and clues. So in 2016, we had our prior market cycle top in 2013, right? We crashed down, we made our bottom, we moved into phase 1, yellow box, we moved into phase 2, white box, and then we moved into phase 3. Phase 3, by definition, it battles its prior all-time high and flirts real hard with it and just barely makes a new all-time high, which it did with this candle back on April 10th, 2017, right? That's exactly what we've done in today's cycle. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. When you look at it structurally, bottom of the market here. Phase 1 right here, yellow box, builds market structure on top. Phase 2, white box. Phase 3, it flirts real hard with the all-time high or just barely makes it. And that's exactly what we did. We flirted real hard with the all-time high. And on this candle, on March 11th, 2024, we made a new all-time high. Right on schedule, right on cue, just like we've always done. So here we are today, right? Doing the same thing that we did in 2016, but let's take it a step further. We understand the prior all-time high. We understand the bottom of the market. We better understand phase 1, phase 2. Now we understand phase 3 is the phase we're in right now. It's also the phase we were were in right there in that blood zone. Well, what got us out of it, right? When you look closer at it, you can see some clues right by our side, right? We had some market structure hold inside of this blood zone, right? We had a little wick up at the top. We had a large wick at the bottom, which told us like, hey, there was a lot of buying pressure at this candle back in February 27, 2017, when we made a new all-time high. We had made an all-time high, and it was really bought up when we had reached around $912. It was really bought up, hence this large wick, which pushed us to a new all-time high above 1,300 and change, right? We were just sitting pretty at about 900. It was bought up heavily, and it pushed us to an all-time high. I want you to remember that clue, because we are going to take a look at present day, and there is that exact clue again. We followed it up with a big bearish candle. However, it still stayed right inside the blood zone. The body was holding directly inside. Although it was a bearish candle, although it was a bearish engulfing candle, we were fine. We were inside the blood zone, and there was no worry, right? What we didn't see is that a heavy wick was on the upside pushing us down. There was no wick on the upside, a little bit of a wick on the bottom side. So it was bought up as we reached this support zone, right? This bottom level here is once again based on the bodies of these candles on the 2-week candle. And the top, our resistance, is based on the top wick, right? It's purely structure based, purely fact based. You have finally found a channel that is fact based in crypto that actually helps you. No paid ads. Hit that subscribe button. So we take the wick here, our resistance, we take the body here, our support. That's our blood zone, which also happens to be the exact zone of phase 3. When you dig into it further, you say, okay, in the moment, we could have been overly concerned with this bearish engulfing candle, overly concerned with this big red candle. Although looking back at it, we were fine, which again, I want you to keep in mind this clue. We're going to use it for the present day. Keep that in mind. So we followed it up with a big green candle. This was not a bullish engulfing candle because the body was technically smaller than the prior one. So this wasn't a bullish engulfing candle, although it was a bullish candle, right? And we followed that up with a tiny candle holding resistance right at the top with our body with a wick to the downside. Again, pay attention to the wicks. The wicks tell the story, the bodies tell the facts. That will hold true in any time frame you look at, right? What you can see is that we had a large wick as we were at resistance. What did that tell us? Well, that told us that price action got right up to that top zone and closed and had momentum heading up for the following candle. It gave us a large clue, right? That is when we actually broke through and finally held support on said blood zone, and we are off to the races. Now that we have all of these clues, we have all of these facts, let's take a look at what we're doing today, right? So our blood zone, once again, is purely structurally based. The top of our zone, our resistance, is based on our top wick, and the bottom of our zone, our support, is based on the pure bodies of our prior all-time high back in 2021. That creates our blood zone, which represents phase 3 of the bull run, which we're in right now. Once again, we had some big clues in the past. Let's take those clues and apply them to the present, right? We entered this blood zone with this ridiculously large candle here, right? Once again, we had illustrated on a weekly scale back over 100 days ago that we had trouble at 73,000. At the time, that was unthinkable, and nobody thought we had any trouble back at 73,000. We were sitting pretty above 73. Everyone was remarkably bullish, and this is what we had to say. Roll the clip. Attention cryptocurrency investors and traders. There is a major correction coming to the crypto space that will take the world by storm and surprise most, but it's going to present one of the best buying opportunities of this bull run if you've missed out so far. So at that time, everybody was remarkably bullish. It was really unpopular to say that a large correction was coming, but that's exactly what happened. Luckily for you in this channel, we also gave buy targets at 60 and 59, just following a simple strategy. So you had 5 opportunities to buy over the past 100 days at said level, right? Selling at 73 and buying at 60 or 59. It's a pretty remarkable thing, but that's what we did on this channel. If you missed out on that, make sure you subscribe. But once again, that represented this large candle here. Again, this is a 2-week candle. We were just looking at a weekly candle. Once we got up there, we had this indecision candle. What you often see after a large rally is an indecision candle, which means we're going to be moving sideways. It's basically a pure even tug of war where the bulls had been in control for all of these candles month after month after month, and they lost control here. Huge wick to the upside, huge wick to the downside, body still closing right inside of here, which means an even tug of war. Nobody was winning, bulls or bears, which set the stage for the market to move sideways for a period of time, which is what has happened for 100 days, right? We followed that up with yet another indecision candle, just a little bit smaller, a little less volatile. Yes, it's green, but who cares? There's still a wick to the upside, still a wick to the downside, still representing an even tug of war. And we followed that up with yet another candle of more of the same. More tug of war, more wick to the upside, more wick to the downside, although a further wick to the downside and more opportunity to buy, right? To enter your position. And then we had this candle, right? This candle on a 2-week scale, this is not a dragonfly doji. A dragonfly doji is a bullish reversal candle, right? And on a 2-week scale, we had way too large of a wick to the upside. The body is too big. I love the lower wick, right? Even though this is not technically a dragonfly doji, this is a remarkably bullish candle. Why? Because you have a large lower wick, a thin body, somewhere near the top. This is always, on any time frame, a bullish candle. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. Why? What it represents is that price crashed all the way down here. However, it was bought up, right? If it crashed all the way down here and closed, trouble. If it crashed all the way down here and bought up and rallied all the way back up here and then closed, really bullish. And that is what happened, right? Hence, small body near the top, large lower wick, right? So this candle told us like, hey, we still had the body close inside this blood zone. We had a large lower wick, so we had momentum on our side. We're probably going to battle this top zone here in the next couple candles. And that's what happened, right? Then we had technically a bullish engulfing candle. And then we had this candle, which shows some heavy problems, right? We have this green body at the bottom. We have a large upper wick. Once again, here is the first candle in our blood zone to have no lower wick, which means there was no tug of war between the bulls and the bears. There was only a tug of war with everybody taking profits up here around 72,300, right? There was a lot of profit taking here, hence a large upper wick. What does that tell us? We're losing steam, right? We had this technically a reversal candle, which told us we were going to test the top and we needed to see the strength, health, and wellness of Bitcoin. And we got up near the top and it wasn't very healthy, right? We showed signs of weakness. And now we're in this candle now, which hasn't confirmed yet. We haven't closed this candle. This is still a fresh candle that could change a lot over the course of the next handful of days. But once again, we're showing signs of weakness with a large wick at the moment. At the moment, we have not closed yet. But what does this mean? Well, when you look at it, we're still in the blood zone. So should we be overly concerned with any wick to the up or the downside? No, we would be concerned with a body closing outside of said blood zone, either outside of the top, which is our resistance, or below the bottom, which is our support. Any body closing either above or below is noteworthy. Anything closing inside of here is just another day in the park. We don't care. It's irrelevant, right? So once again, what we noticed with our prior breakout, again, is a candle coming up to that resistance zone, closing with a lower wick, has momentum pushing us above. That's what we notice. We don't notice anything yet with something similar to said structure, right? But once again, this candle hasn't closed yet. So here's what you should be doing right now based on all of these facts. We understand in our prior video, we looked at this volatility and how this volatility was the calm before the storm. We can look at the same for the 2016 zone that we were in, this blood zone. We broke out of it with a very specific candle in a very specific manner, and then we went to the moon. And another question we have to anticipate is, could Bitcoin be setting up for more of the same? Now, here's what I'll say about this structure, right? I love market structure. And just based on pure facts, we have structure here from our prior all-time high with the resistance of all of the bodies of our prior structure, the resistance at 63,000, right? In other words, you have all of these bodies here, resistance at 63,000. All of the bodies here in 2021, resistance at 63,000. And all of the bodies so far here, support at 63,000. That is huge, massive. What does that tell us? That shows strength. Plain and simple, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is strength. This is Bitcoin building market structure on top of our prior market structure from our prior all-time high and moving sideways for 100 days. This is a remarkably healthy. So once again, if you're wondering what you should be doing right now, this is what I've said for 5 or 6 weeks. Bitcoin is in a battle of the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart versus the 2-month candle. The stochastic RSI, as we've said repeatedly, is the only thing that has the power to make Bitcoin have a new all-time high. There's nothing else. We had a stochastic RSI cross precisely on May 13th, 2024, which we covered on this channel, back when Bitcoin was at about 61,000. And since then, we rallied over 70,000 because of the stochastic RSI cross. And it's just the beginning, right? These stochastic RSI crosses, they take weeks and weeks and weeks and potentially months to really play out. And we're still in the very early stages of that playing out. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. What we need to see is the stochastic RSI make us break out of this zone, have a new all-time high, and create higher highs on the RSI. If we're able to do that, we can null and void the 2-month candle. If we're not able to do all of those things in this move that we're in right now, the 2-month candle will win and we will have a trend reversal to the downside. No matter what scenario plays out, we are still in a bull run. It is more risky to be out of Bitcoin than in Bitcoin. Make that known. In every bull run, it's the same. It's more risky to be out than in. Don't try to get cute. Trade way less. You are over trading. Nobody is telling you that. Everybody is trying to have you trade more FOMO, more this. Oh my God, there's this shiny object. What you should be doing the high majority of the time to be a successful trader is nothing. Sitting on your hands. Be cool, calm, collective. Watch this weekly chart like a hawk. Also watch this volatility. When it breaks, it's going to get crazy. And really pay attention to this zone, this blood zone that we're in with the resistance at about 70,000. Once we start to hold that as support, we could have a very large rally. Could it be as large as 2016? That's still up for debate. We need more facts to decide. But once again, we could explode absolutely parabolic as high as this yellow line, which we pointed out. Why? Because that has happened literally 66% of the cycles have rallied up to this 2.36 on the fib level. If Bitcoin were to do that this time, it's 540,000. I don't think there's a lot of opportunity for us to go above that, but that's the absolute ceiling that I see as a possibility. More on what is probable in future videos. By the way, I've read the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. You want more altcoin videos? Next week, I'm going to make some special bonus altcoin videos. Leave a comment down below with which altcoin you want to see in a bonus video. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you right back here in the next one. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel, how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to 500,000, let's go.